All right, next division, man. We're going into the AFC North. Hopefully, this is going to be a little bit more on point because that last one, we're going to talk about that later. But chiming in now, we're talking about the Steelers, Browns, Ravens, and Bengals. So, going with this, what's your thoughts on it?
This is always like a unpredictable division, though. It's always like everybody has a shot in this division, but this is how I see it. Number 4, I think actually it's going to belong to the Cincinnati Bengals. The reason why I say that is we don't know how severe. Well, A.J. Green, that injury is very key. It's like what they're going to do now, and I don't think they left it yet. Is Marvin Lewis still the head coach over there?
I know they brought him back for a season. I believe he's still there. I'll double check right now.
If he's still there, they're 5-11. I'm calling it. They're number 4. They'd be 5-11, 6-10 at best.
No, Zach
Green?
Taylor. Zach Taylor.
Oh.
So they brought back Marvin for a season. Yeah, so they brought back Marvin for a season, and then they got rid of him, and they brought in Zach Taylor, who was the coach.
Okay, well, the injury to A.J. Green, though, I think that's going to be significant, and I still got them going on. But they said that he'll be back. But they said that he'll be back by week 6. It's not for, the entire season. Yeah. But when you, 2-4 or 1-5, the season's pretty much over anyway. I got them going 6-10. Number 3 in the division. I think they're going to drop off significantly just because all the off-the-field issues, and I think we've seen this song and dance before with the Seattle Seahawks a few years ago, how all the off-field distractions implement on the field with attitudes and everything. And honestly, the pressure is on, Ben, and the pressure is on you, Juju. Y'all got to prove why the hell y'all got rid of Antonio Brown and why the hell y'all let Le'Veon Bell walk. They got to prove themselves, but I don't think they're going to do it this season. 8-8. Now, number 2 in the division, I don't believe the hype fully, but I believe the hype that they're going to actually make the playoffs and have a winning season. I think the addition of, OBJ, from that boy right there, Mayfield to OBJ, might be a new 1-2 punch. If they play all right, they might be a top 5, top 10 1-2 punch this year. It might be exciting to watch with them. And I think they always had a solid defense. So I got Cleveland going 10-6. And number 1 in the division, since the year 2000, they've been top 5 over 10 years. They're always consistently a powerhouse on defense. And I still think that young boy, getting rid of Flacco was a great idea. And I think Lamar Jackson can actually take over and have a pretty decent season. And I got the Ravens going 11-5. And that's pretty much how I got it. The Ravens winning the division, Cleveland in second, third is Pittsburgh, and, of course, in the basement is the Bengals.
All right. So let's go ahead and talk about it. First off, number 4, we both agree. Definitely had the Cincinnati Bengals. Zach Taylor, for those of y'all that don't know, he was one of the assistant coaches with the LA Rams for the past 2 seasons. So I think he's definitely qualified to lead this team. But will they be effective this year? No. Do I think they're going to play spoiler to somebody towards the end of the season? Absolutely. But I have this team going 6-10 at best with the injury to A.J. Green. They're definitely going to have a good draft the next season, and then I can see them possibly getting back into contention. Number 3, and I know Mr. Jones isn't going to like this, but I'm just going to come out and say it. I get the off-season acquisitions that they have made, but to me, this team is fool's gold, and that is the Cleveland Browns. This franchise has been mediocre. Yes, they've been mediocre at best. we might as well go say garbage because they haven't won a damn thing since Jim Brown retired. And this franchise will continue. No, really, they are non-existent. And I believe that they will continue to do the same thing. I believe that before Week 10 or Week 11, their diva receiver, OBJ, will be bashing other receivers on the team. He will be bashing Baker Mayfield. He will be bashing the play calling that is happening in Cleveland.
Okay.
So,
you have anything to say on that?
Who, me?
Obviously. Yeah.
Yeah.
Personally, I agree. I wanted to chime it up. I thought he was going to say something else. I was going to wait till everybody was over. But I definitely agree that the Browns should have been lower. The Bengals, I give a little bit influence to, but I'm not even going to talk about that right now. But
yeah. Hold on. Let me finish. Yeah, let me finish. So, number 2, the new Michael Vick. I pray he doesn't become the new RG3 because I don't want him to fight injuries. But Lamar Jackson, I believe he does have a good 2 to 3 electrifying seasons where he's using his legs and throwing the deep ball and everything. And the Ravens, depending on what other teams do in the seeding, could sneak into the wild card. But I have them going 9-7 or 10-6. I'll probably set myself more on 9-7. And then number 1 will be the Pittsburgh Steelers. The reason why I say that is I get it that it's been a lot of off-the-field issues, but you also have Juju, who's basically been telling everybody, hey, I'm a number 1 receiver. You still have James Conner, who had a monster year last year in the absence, and you have a Ben Roethlisberger, who's been to the Super Bowl, who was it, 2? No, I'm sorry, he's been to the Super Bowl 3 times as a starter and won 2 of the 3. And so with that being said, I can see the Pittsburgh Steelers and their experience winning that division, especially with their strength of schedule that they have, which is not a very tough schedule.
Well, let me ask you this, sir. Who led the league in interceptions in the red zone last year?
Oh, it was Ben.
And, on top of that, you think without the threat of Antonio Brown down there, that's going to improve? Because they're about to just double Juju all year. Who else going to prove themselves?
Well, here's what you also have to understand, too. The tight end that they had the previous
year. That's not the same defense they had years ago with Palomalu. There ain't no steel curtain defense they got. They gave up a lot of leads last year.
They did give up some leads, but they also
they did do absolutely.
Are you gonna let me finish? Are you gonna let me finish? All right. I was just gonna say, it is essentially the same defense as last year. Obviously, because you don't have Ryan Chase here, I pray that he continues to heal. However, I think with Tomlin getting his extension, this is showing everybody, because remember, the media, I don't think he was, because we know how the Steelers organization is with their coaches, but the media themselves were trying to say, hey, Tomlin's on the hot seat. He's got to get it done within the next couple seasons, or he may see himself out of Pittsburgh. He's losing control of the team. So here's what you've done now. The ones who've had the loud voices and the loud mouths, you've got them out. Meaning you got rid of Antonio Brown. He's an Oakland Raider now. You got rid of Le'Veon Bell. There was another team over there in the NFC West that we talked about the previous week who had a bunch of loud mouths on their defense and offense. They got rid of them, and every season they still find a way to find themselves hanging around and either grabbing a playoff spot or being in position to win the division, which is the Seattle Seahawks. I see the same thing for this division. It's not going to be easy, but I can see the Pittsburgh Steelers grabbing 11 victories this season, going 11-5, and winning that division. I can see it.
I wanted to put a wager on 11 wins for him, though.
The Ravens, to me, no, we talk about it. Makes me no different.
I don't have the Steelers winning 11 games at all. I got them. They might get
10-6.
Yeah, I don't got them getting 11. That's overachieving for them, I believe. Especially, I think that division going to beat itself up too. They all got to play each other.
And then also, I believe the Ravens are going to have trouble because I think the Bengals may win that over them. Or if anything, the league will change. And the way I'm looking at it, so I'm just looking at from like last year. Like the Bengals got off to a good start. And they're still waiting on injuries to fill back in, which will probably come back around in 6 weeks. They should already be developed by then. Then they should probably even maybe get up a pickup. So by then, they may kind of come over better. And then, like, how horrible I see the Browns just because of their franchise history, I don't see them winning that many games. It's just not possible for me.
I mean, amongst all the terrible tragedy of the Browns, they did have winning seasons with less than what they have now. This is probably the best roster offensively they had since the 80s. Since Ernest Biner and them. And they always had a contending defense. They always had a decent defense. They just couldn't put no damn points on the board, which I think they're going to do finally.
Who?
Cleveland.
The thing is,
because,
Cleveland is this. The thing is, Cleveland is this. Hold on. Let me just say this. I get what you're trying to say with Cleveland. I definitely get what you're saying about them being able to put points on the board. The problem is this. You have a receiver that when he feels like he's not getting enough passes, he throws temper tantrums on the sideline. The Browns organization...
He's not with his quarterback. Baker is going to get Odell the ball. I don't even see that as a worry at all. And honestly, I think that was more of a New York thing than anything. I think he's just happy to play football and be in a good environment and have a good chemistry with his quarterback. Like, I see that down the line, but I don't see that in the first season because I don't see him as the attitude like a T.O. maybe or attitude that Ocho has.
Okay. All right. Can I ask you a question?
Right.
What would you say is a fair amount of targets for a wide receiver for a season? What do you think is a fair amount of targets?
Well, if you talk about a number one of his caliber, elite receiver, probably should have at least 10 a game.
All right, so 10 a game. Hold on. All right, so 10 a game. So 10 targets a game, we're looking at probably about 160 on the year. 10 targets, right? Whether if you're open or not is what you're saying.
Well, like I said, the elite receiver, yes.
All right. So we're going to go to this now.
That's how much they will want. Is they going to get it? Probably no. Okay. But that's how much they will want it.
Okay. So Odell, his rookie season, played 12 games. He got 130 targets. That matches your number. 2015, Odell played 15 games. I guess they wanted to rest him for the playoffs. He got 158 targets. 2016, when he played a full... Let me finish.
Go ahead.
2016, he played 16 games as well. He got 169 targets. He got hurt in 2017. In this past season, he played 12 games. I guess he got hurt. And he got 124 targets. So the targets are coming to him. The problem is, what is he doing when he gets those targets? So, again, you have, once again, a diva who is on a team who's never had a strong front office, who hasn't really had a strong coaching staff, and you're telling me that when they tried to spread the ball to Chubb, and didn't the Browns pick up Kareem Hunt? Didn't the Browns pick him up?
Yeah. But is he suspended or not?
How
long is he suspended?
I think
he's suspended like for like the first quarter.
He's suspended. Yeah, he'll be back week 10. Yeah, so this is what's going to happen. Odell has from week 1 to week 10 to get all of the love that he wants. But I guarantee you in a couple of those games when it's tight and Odell doesn't get the ball, I guarantee you, because remember, they have a young tight end who's coming on as well, Njoku, who's actually pretty good. And when Odell is not the one who's able to make the highlight touchdown, game-winning catch, and it goes to Njoku or even Jarvis Landry, I guarantee you Odell will have a problem with it. He's a diva.
On a win?
On a win. I'm not sold on it. Zeus, you can weigh in on it, but I'm not sold on this Cleveland Browns team. They're fool's gold. Right now, they're Vegas favorites to win the division. I'm telling you all right now, bet against them. They will not win this division.
I'm definitely not sold. I'm just trying to figure out what's your predictions, Mr. Jones, for the Browns again?
They're going to be 9-7.
9-7.
They're going to have a winning season, yes.
And you have them coming in. I mean, but how do you predict this? Just because of the talent that they have, or behind the scenes? Like, how do you trust that?
The potential that Baker Mayfield had last year, especially in close games, even though they went pretty much 8-8 with that one draw, I think with the talent, lack thereof, what Baker Mayfield had, he did a pretty great job his rookie season. And I think he showed a lot of composure, especially in close games. And I think with them additions, it does nothing but makes him better. And I think as far as connecting with Odell, especially with timing and that youth and everything, they're going to be a good 1-2 combination as far as offensively. They're going to finally match points with teams instead of using their defense and keeping it tight, because they always had a pretty formidable defense. I'm not saying it's top tier, but they always had a defense that contended every year.